Hi, hello. This is Turjashu, and I would like to introduce you to one very nice product that CW Instrument has recently launched, and the name is Onia. Well, this is a very low-cost development board solution for people who are currently working on any kind of POC project or any kind of development system. So let's walk through this system called Onia, that is an IoT embedded development board. We'll just go through some basic features like first would be a basic introduction of what it is, the special features of this particular device, the connectivity that you can use, different kinds of connectivity, the USB 2 bootloader, which is a unique feature of this board. There are a couple of peripherals that comes with it like ADC, UART, I2C debug, GPIO, and SPI. There are timers, DMA, and I'll show you how to integrate some beautiful IoT projects with it. Some competitive analysis as to how the Onia board is better, or I would say much superior as compared to other boards of the same kind. And finally, I'll show you some use cases where this board has been used in some good university and industries, and it has been proven to be good. So let's first start with the introduction. This particular board has been designed with industrial grade certification, that is FCC certification, ISO certification, and as well as it is JEDEC approved. The main chip that is used is JEDEC approved, and the cost is very low. The standard cost is around 799 Indian rupees, but right now you can, if you're buying it, you can get some offers of around 400 to 500 rupees. And another important feature that I would like to show over here is the board is completely based out of MSP430 microcontroller, which is nothing but a 16-bit microcontroller, and it also has a 32-bit hardware multiplier, which means that you can really run the 32-bit codes without actually upgrading it into ARM, Cortex, or any kind of 32-bit architecture. So this will be an added advantage for you if you are looking forward to some good kind of performance as well as some price issue. So MSP F series will give you a good performance at lower cost. Another important feature is the low power mode. So this is really beautiful because if you're designing any kind of battery-based application, you can get a whole lot of energy saving by using this particular development board, because you get a power of around a power draw of around 0.18 microamperes at 3 volt. So you're operating the core at 3 volt. Now let me tell you one more thing, is that this particular board or the MCU that is based on it, it can run at voltages as low as 1.8 volts if you're running the core at a much lower frequency. So it all depends upon your frequency. If you can run at a suitable frequency that supports 3 volts, so you can even save up to 180 of nanoamperes of current. That will be your drainage current when it is in LPM 4.5 mode. And obviously there are huge number of timer registers. There are 3-channel DMA which will help you transfer data. There are analog comparators which can help you for any kind of analog data deciding, and as well as 10-bit ADC. And finally, nevertheless, one important feature is that this board does support a simple USB bootloader, so you can directly burn your code into the microcontroller by using the USB bootloader. You don't need any kind of extra hardware, as it is with other boards. So you can just connect it, use some downloading software like Uniflash or something that comes for free, and you can test your own code. And if you want to go into a debug mode, you can then use multiple FETs that are available, like MSP FET or something like that, and you can connect it through the debug port, and you can run your own debug possibilities. And one more important feature that I would like to highlight for this board is the AT command set, because the AT command set will help you read the ADC, the I2C peripherals, the SPI peripherals, and the firmware that is loaded inside with simple AT commands. So just imagine that if you have a project where you need to interface some kind of analog channel or analog sensor, and you want to just save the data into the I2C EEPROM, and your actual running master is running some kind of high-level programming code, like for example some Python or some kind of high-level programming language, you don't need to bother to go into the lower level coding. You just control it through some AT commands through the USB, and you just send the AT commands, or maybe you can also issue the AT commands over the serial port, and you can directly acquire data over the AT commands and save it inside the EEPROM or even the SPI slaves. So it's like very fast prototyping with this. Next important thing are the special features that comes along with this board. Obviously, the first thing is that you can use your own CCS or IAR or Kyle, whichever is your suitable platform or IDE to program. It is compatible for all three of them, and you get some UART console for printing logs. You have debug LEDs, and you can obviously choose your own UART, like UART and PC and I2C peripherals with this port. So I have given a demo for that. You can check that on later in the later part of the slide. Now, after that, like the most important feature that comes is that you have full code debugging possibility, as I said in the last slide, by using the JTAG. So if you're owning a JTAG, it can be MSPFET or any other JTAG. You can use a SPI-by-wire and you can simply, debug your entire code. The microcontroller, which is given over here, it supports a variety of JTAGs, so you can just check it out on their website. Now you also have a 4-channel ADC input, as it is shown over here. You can connect 4 different kind of analog sensors in the voltage range of 0 to 3.3, and you can set an internal reference of 1.5 or 2.5, or you can also use the supply voltage, that is 3.3, to read as a reference. Now, in case if you don't want to use any kind of analog, or if you want to partially, use 2 analog channels, you can also use the other 2 pins as GPIO pins. So that is also very versatile for any kind of application. And also, just to remind you, just in case if you want to use like some USB application, so in that USB application, you can obviously read the I2C and SPI buses, and by using the AT command set, you can just directly acquire the data over the USB, or we will be supplying some good stuff, some good USB programs for you. You can have the binaries for that. You can download the binary and use this entire board as a simple USB to serial converter, and you can use it as a USB to serial, like converter device. So that's a CDC class device which can help you debug any kind of USB to serial communication. So that is very, very helpful. You just burn the code, use your board as a USB to serial converter. Whenever you want to test your own code, just download it, and again you can burn back the code. So it's very versatile from that point of view. Okay, so next is the connectivity and ease of use. So let me tell you guys, this board supports a whole lot of industrial connectivity protocols. Like for example, it is supporting RS-232, it is supporting RS-485, it is supporting RS-422, it is supporting TTL UART, that is, you can directly connect it with some other master controller, master microcontroller, or processor, or Raspberry Pi, or any kind of SBC if you need it. And it also has a USB 2 on board. So if you want to connect USB 2, now one important feature I'll go later on is that the USB which is given on this board, unlike Arduino R3, it doesn't have any kind of CDC class device placed. So the meaning of it is you can directly use the USB inside the chip by code, and you can develop your own, CDC or HID or mass storage class device by using your own code, and again use the same USB to download your code in the bootloader software. So that's the versatility of this particular board. And you can also use some other third-party peripherals using the UART, that is LoRa. If you want to use LoRa, transmitter with this, you can definitely go for it. You can use a Wi-Fi ESP8266, CC3220, or any other Wi-Fi module, again by the SPI or the UART port, and you can even use an Ethernet by using the SPI port. So we do have free libraries for Ethernet, that is ENC28J60. That is very helpful. Okay, now you can also design your own CDC class projects, your own USB HID class project, or you can also develop your own mass storage type POCs by using this particular board. So you just connect. I'll give you an example. Suppose if you can just connect the SPI port with a TransFlash card, and you can develop your own code for the mass storage class. And for that code, you don't have to worry, because Texas Instruments is supplying you with a USB Designer software for free. So you can use the TI's vendor ID code and product ID code, and you can actually use this particular device as a mass storage class, like a mass storage class project or something like that. So that is a beautiful feature. At this price, you're getting a full speed USB development platform. I think that is marvelous, and that is very helpful. For those guys who want to use it as GSM or 4G connectivity, Nevertheless, you can connect or interface any standard modems which are available in the market. So you can connect it through the UART port and make your own project. Well, one more important feature is that the USB can be expanded. You can use any kind of USB hub chips, and you can interface multiple such on your boards, and then maybe develop a bigger scale USB project if you want. So that is obviously very helpful. And here on the right now you can see that the kind of peripherals and protocols that is supported. Modbus is supported, the RS-232 and 422 is supported, LoRa is supported, Ethernet is supported, Wi-Fi is supported. Obviously, these are add-on modules. I would say it's not inbuilt, but again, we will provide you with free design and free library tested codes. So it's almost as good as having free. And for BLE projects, those guys out there who want to interface some BLE, this particular board has SPI, and through SPI you can interface any kind of BLE, HM10 or those kind of modules. Or if you want to directly use a stack related development, you can obviously go for CC2650 or CC1352. For that, you can contact us directly. We will provide you the stack management as well as the application tested software. So obviously Bluetooth development is also possible. Well, now let's look into the USB 2 bootloader. This is something that is very beautiful in this board, is that there is a red button by pressing which you can make the chip go into the USB bootloader mode. And in the USB bootloader mode, you can simply download your own code by using a lot of free software that are available. You can use UniFlash, you can use Texas Instruments own firmware downloader code. So you can do that very easily. And there are no FTDI or CDC class chips as an interface, just like some other boards. So that is very helpful. For those guys who want to do USB software designing, you can use the free software which is provided from TI, and we can give you help on that. That is the USB Designer from Software Designer. So that is a free program from TI. You can use TI's own vendor ID, product ID in order to generate all the enumeration classes. And the best part is that this particular software will generate all the required files and all the required headers which are needed for your USB development. So you don't have to grind your head and spend time in order to develop an USB project. It just gets started. So that is something really beautiful. And obviously, there are multiple additional features. I just can't go through each and every of them in this small video. One important feature that I would like to highlight is the power feature. There is an LDO on board. Now, suppose if you want to use if you want to use the internal USB PLL which is there, which generates the 3.3 volt, you can use it in order to power your chip. In that case, you don't have to use an external LDO on board. Now that is already given for your benefit, but the problem is that you can't draw a current more than 20 milliamps around. So if your design is requiring current around say 5 to 10 milliamps, you can easily use the internal LDO on the chip. In that case, you don't even need to go for an external LDO. You can derive that current out of the USB power. Now, in case if your design requires a higher current, in that case, we have a solution on board. We have given an extra uh, LDO chip that can supply you with a higher amount of current of up to 1 amps. So in case you need up to 1 amps of current, you just need to change the jumper setting that is there in the documentation of the board, and that can help you design and power your own peripherals from there. That is directly derived from the USB. As far as the ADC is concerned, the most important thing is that in the ADC, it's a 4-channel ADC. If you don't use it, you can use it as a GPIO functionality. You can read raw values through the AT command set. So that is very helpful. There is no code overhead. You can have There are multiple serial modules for I2C, SPI, and other functionalities, which you can also use as a GPIO in case if you don't need them. There are 8 USB input and output endpoints, so that will give you a good throughput. And you can also check your firmware version which is there in the board, which comes pre-programmed when you open the board by using a command. If your project is involving some kind of I2C or SPI slave programming, then you don't have to go into lower level of coding. Just use the basic firmware which is supplied with the board and access it through the PC and by using the simple AT commands. So it's like if you want to read an EEPROM which is connected over the I2C lines, you just give an AT command set. The AT commands will read the EEPROM and return you back the value from a particular memory area. I think that is very helpful for those who are trying to, develop some kind of data storage program and you want to interface it with a high level coding, like for example, some other master device or maybe some Python or something. So that is very helpful. As far as the timer goes, there are totally four 16-bit timers that are given, which is huge as far as normal applications are concerned. There is one RTC and one watchdog timer, which can also be used for specific purposes. 18 capture compare registers, which is again, you can really generate a huge number of PWMs by using those 18 capture compare registers. There is a 3-channel DMA also for you guys who want to use DMA for transferring data from one particular module or peripheral to another. That is something really helpful. If you're interested in integrating some MQTT or REST API or IoT application, obviously there are options. We have a whole lot of free library available, tested libraries where we have already interfaced different kind of modems for using MQTT and REST API. So we can give you that support for free. So that is also possible by using the UART. And in case if you are planning to develop some kind of Ethernet based application, then we do have a support library for ENC20J60 from Microchip, as well as we have for GSM modem M95 and also for ESP8266 libraries for Wi-Fi. So that's a good call. Now here comes a very basic comparison between others and ONIA board. So here that you can see that most of the features are really additive, and those with the double stars, they are exclusive features from us, which is not there on other development boards as of now. And with the red exclamation circle is like these factors are something that is very difficult to determine in third party or competitive vendors. So we also give you two debug LEDs, which is really very helpful, which maybe most of the development boards would give you, but maybe they cannot give you is that the Windows XP support, which we do give. So we understand the pain for those people who want to interface some kind of product with a Windows XP platform, and those guys have to like run a VM for that. So you don't need a VM if you are directly running a native system with Windows XP. Our product is compatible, backward compatible till Windows XP, and along with all this, you're getting highly industrial compatibility and a 2 year of warranty. That is something really, really good. I think that's really beneficial to most of the industrial as well as hobbyists. Now, coming to some example use cases, here you can see one particular use case where the ONIA is being interfaced with an analog gas sensor or maybe multiple analog gas sensors. The data is being stored on an SD card, and that data is then later on being sent over to the AWS by using different kind of WebSocket and different kind of APIs which are compatible with the AWS SDK. And we have a total help library for that. We can assist you on these kind of AWS projects. So it is very much possible. You can develop IoT application with this particular board over the GSM and 4G network. For those people who want to interface this for controlling, well, here we have a use case example where the ONIA board is acquiring some data over the RS485 from some sensor, and using the sensors, you are controlling some kind of valve or some kind of, here we are actually showing controlling of a pipeline where some water is flowing, maybe some throttling control over the I2C control lines, and the same data is being fetched over the Wi-Fi from some standard AWS or some cloud architecture. So the lower case can be an example of a REST API or even an MQTT application. So all these kind of applications are possible, especially for smart city and smart agriculture. And these are just two basic examples. You can have a whole lot of use cases. And in case if you need any help, do contact us. We will give you free support. Now coming to the proven test cases, here we have already sold this product to a number of customers. Here you can see that we have already sold it to CESC, that is Calcutta Electric Supply. We have sold some modules to Tata Steel, some to online sales, that is online, customers, and others to B2B sales. So it is a proven platform. Many people have been benefited, and they are giving a good review on this product. So Some application use cases. One will be the USB to serial converter, which you can just download the firmware and you can use the board. There is no tension of loading any driver. Next will be some PC-based data acquisition system from analog to digital sensors. You can develop your own mass storage application. Smart sensing can also be done over MQTT and REST API for IoT integrity. BLE and other wireless headset design can also be done with this. You need a BLE front end. For that, you can contact us. We can give you the tested libraries. Some educational embedded system application development can also be done. Hobbyists can obviously, learn a whole lot of embedded system projects on this board, and cost-wise, it is also very helpful. Another important point is the battery powered application. As I said, that this board can consume as low as 180 nanoamps of current at 3 volts. So you can have as long as 5 to 10 years of battery life, and the whole device can sustain on that amount of battery. So battery powered application will be very, very good in this platform. Okay, so if you need any kind of customized application, just don't forget to give us a call in this number. And obviously, last but not the least, do visit our website platform, and you can email us in this mail address. So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Bye-bye.